now streaming live. Here we go. Yes, we are streaming live. You're watching the Royal We Monday Night Live Chat. Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Royal We Live Chat. I am so very, very happy that you are here with me tonight. And I am working right now to get the telephone number up there so you can go ahead and call in. And also use the chat. That's chat. This is a time where you can bring your questions on the telephone number. Hey, Tanya, what's going on? It's so good to see you here, bright and early. I'm putting the telephone number. Glad you're here too, Tanya. I hope that everything is going well for you. 3496, and I am going to go ahead and call in. What's going on, Brian? How are you? Call in now. All right, telephone is up. Welcome to the Royal We Live Chat Monday night, and we're still going. We're still kicking, and still putting out videos and all that good stuff. I do have a video actually that I'm going to be posting tonight, and I think it's a really good video, and I hope that it comes across as well in my organic upload as I'd like it to, because I came across this revelation over this weekend. I'm going to share with you all on live chat, bring this up for a topic of discussion. Now, I'm not sure if many of you have had this feeling since coming out of toxic relationships with an abusive narcissist. I've had this situation where I have gone, hi, Effie Fox, how are you doing? Glad you're here. Hey, Jennifer. I'm going to pause real quick and say hi to some people. Jamie is in. Carson is in. Julie is in. Revived Lady is in. And D-Doll is in. Revelation. All right. And Survivorship is in. Thank you, Survivorship. Thank you so much. So, Revelation I had this weekend. I had a very rough weekend. I tried to vlog, and it didn't work out. I couldn't do it, and I don't think it's going to be doing the vlog style videos for Royal We is going to be very difficult. I came across discernment that it's not going to be appropriate for the Royal We. Now, some of you have seen some of the vlogs I've done. The problem with vlogging is that, and when we talk about vlogging is basically just taking a day and kind of following around on a particular day, what I'm doing that day, what my thoughts are. But it's hard to do a daily vlog and not start to include a bunch of aspects of my life that really have nothing to do with healing. Okay. So, but instead it's just kind of showcasing my life. And that's not where people are. People need people want to be able to heal. And it's not going to work out to do that. So I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of vlogging. I'm going to just stay here in the studio and just focus on what message needs to be said. What's the heartfelt message? What do I believe is going to help people to heal? Okay. Now then, my revelation this weekend, though, because I was really struggling in this, and how many of you, peeked on social media at the election stuff that was going on this past week? All right. And with this, it presented you were tweaking thing, and it's just getting better and better. Thank you, Survivorship. So with the election that just happened, took place, I found myself in this weird spot where, one time I used to be quite vocal on social media, and I would post my views and stuff like that. And ever since the toxic relationship, I stopped, because that was a huge part of the toxicity that I experienced with in-laws, with family members. There's a lot of name calling, a lot of attacking. This was back in the Obama days when he was about to be elected, and this was all new for everybody. I had not yet been induced in, I have not yet seen the world of insults and hate over social media. I think nobody did. I think with social media came this new wave of a way for people to hate others. And so that was a big part of it. And I found myself in this place where I wanted to be honest and put my views out there, but something was stopping me. At the same time, I didn't want to. I was afraid to. I was cautious to. And a part of me realize that, okay, being vocal invites problems on social media. This battled with another side of me internally that said, yes, but you have a right to be open and honest and express your thoughts and feelings. How many of you ever get in this place? And I was stuck in this place for the entire day while I was trying to vlog. It was not a pretty sight. I was really up in arms within myself, my own mental war. Should I be able to speak and be a part of who be authentic? I came to this place, this realization where I'm not truly authentic if I feel I cannot say certain things. But then again, I also battle myself saying, yes, but Kevin, you're stronger now and you're above a certain level to where you know that if you engage, you're going to invite certain problems. So, what a difficult place. How many of you have been in this place, right? It is a breeding ground of crud. Fee Fox, you're absolutely right. So anyways, I realized that I feel like a part of me has been missing. How many of you have felt like a part of you has been missing since the toxic relationship? It seems as though there's a piece of you or parts of you that have been kind of frozen in time. And so now I'm going to get into the organic video that I put on tonight. I hope you still watch it, even though I'm telling you the gist of the message. The gist of the message is that I often get into these places where I feel like I'm only half of the person I once was. There's missing pieces ever since the toxicity that I experienced. When the trauma happened, when the abuse took place, when that fight or flight kicked in, so a part of me froze in that place and time, while the other part of me got the heck out and abandoned the relationship, turned my back, went no contact, realized abuse is happening, left, went no contact, which is what we're supposed to do. I don't think we realize this, but when we abandon toxic relationships, we are abandoning a piece of ourselves in that moment as well. We are up and out of there, leaving behind the part of us that loved and cared and tried to make it work. That's a significant part of us. And as we're healing on our healing journey from narcissistic abuse, we are becoming better, stronger, more resilient. And also, if I'm to be honest with you, we are becoming hardened. How many of you would agree that you are a harder person, right? And I know we don't like to look at it that way. No, we're soft. We're Christians. We're supposed to have soft hearts. Nuh-uh. We are hardened individuals. And when I say hardened, I mean we do not let abuse come near us anymore. I know I don't. I mean, I don't even recognize narcissistic abuse anymore as something that is affecting me. I know I'm around crazy narcissistic people all day long, but my mental and emotional distance between myself and them is so great that they can't even come within a certain space of me. So I don't even recognize it anymore. That's how much I know that I have walls built up. Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's both. I think it's good to have boundaries. But with this, I also realized that I left behind when I abandoned the narcissistic toxic relationship with the in-laws. I abandoned a lot of myself. And I think that the point of the video that I put out there today is that we have a fear. We're afraid of that person. Not only are we afraid of in a way, not afraid of the narcissist, but we're afraid to go back into that toxicity, but we're more afraid to revisit ourselves there, if this makes sense. Because the person that we were in that toxic relationship was not equipped or adequately prepared to deal with the toxicity and to deal with the narcissist and to deal with the bullying. So we look at that person, ourselves, in that moment as being inferior and weak, and we look at ourselves in that moment as being not equipped and not good enough to handle the situation. Do you follow me? So we're afraid of that person. Unfortunately, in that person lies a lot of the pieces that you and I were made up of. A lot of the joy, a lot of the love, a lot of the having fun, a lot of the openness to new things, a lot of the spontaneity was wrapped up in that person that we abandoned, ourselves. So the video is about understanding this, because it's okay to go and have boundaries and be hardened, but at some point we need to go back for ourselves. We need to be able to go back, not to the toxic people, but we need to somehow in our mind go back to ourselves in that toxic situation. We need to embrace ourselves give ourselves a hug, if you will, and remind them that you're loved and you're good enough. And remind yourself that, yes, it's true, you were not prepared to deal with that level of toxicity. You were not adequately ready to deal with the abuse, but that's okay. And you need to embrace that old version of you, bring it into the new version of you and say, but guess what? We are stronger now. And start to reunite the old parts of you with the new parts of you together, where you can start to live more authentically. And that's the whole point, is being able to live authentic. How can you live fully authentic if you've only gone on and healed and have become hardened, but you've left behind all the things that you once were? Does this make sense? Like parenting yourself. Absolutely. Yeah. What is D saying here? Reclaim your name in a new frame. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Fee says, OMG, yes, so much wrapped up. And when that I lost big piece, part of myself. And the thing you speak, difficult. It is very difficult, Fee. And that's why I hope the video that I put out on the organic channel tonight, I hope it really expresses that. You know, I go a little bit more into it, but that's just the gist of what it's about. It's about going back, finding yourself, and reclaiming yourself, the bits and pieces of yourself. Not being afraid to revisit the old you. Navigate and go through the parts of you that are good, the loving stuff that's good, while also knowing that you're strong enough now to not deal with narcissists or bullies anymore. So I think that we have to break through that fear that the person we once were, the joy-filled, loving, spontaneous person, we have to not be afraid of being united with that side of us anymore. We have to understand that we can marry and wed the two together. We are stronger, bigger, more aware now. We don't have to continue being these hardened individuals as we are healing. However, we do need to make sure that we are on our A game and on guard. Narcissism is real. Toxicity is real. Don't be deceived about, and I know right now, especially after the election, this is really interesting. I've seen a lot of things of people saying, wow, we can, now that the election is over, we can have peace. No more division. Now, how many of you think that is just absolutely insane? I mean, that in and of itself, that comment is kind of narcissistic. No more division. Because the people who are saying no more division, now we can get along, we could be at peace, no more division, are the same people who were cussing people out just months ago, insulting people for their beliefs and views. And now they're saying, okay, now we can have no more division. And it's almost like it would be as though the narcissistic person who cussed at you, criticized you, ridiculed you, cut you down, demeaned you, and devalued your character comes back to you, a month later and says, okay, we can get along now. We don't have to be divided anymore. We can be together, It makes no sense. There is a divide. The divide still exists. The divide is good and evil. The divide is that narcissism is rampant. The divide is understanding also that narcissism, in a way, is in each and every one of us. The difference between narcissistic personality disorder and where you and I would be is that narcissistic personality disorder means that they've cloaked themselves in it. The mentality that you fight aggressively and cut people down and cuss people out and call them names in order to get what you want. That is the narcissistic personality disorder. That's the hostile, take what you want by force. You and I, we do have narcissistic traits. Everybody does, but we understand and have the empathy and the compassion and the wisdom and the understanding of narcissism to suppress it, right? And Craig says, politics didn't help my family any, just divide us more. Yeah, it divided everybody. Thank you, Tanya. By the way, hey, for anybody who wants to put a chat question up there, you could do, those of you who want to sponsor, or not sponsor, but donate, do a super chat. Ask me a question here. So anyways, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so we all have narcissistic traits. One of the things I wanted to encourage you with, I'll probably do a video about this organic video this week, is I want to talk about our narcissistic traits and the difference between narcissistic personality disorder, who cloak themselves in it, and those of us who don't, who suppress it. This is a second topic, which, by the way, before I get into this topic tonight, is there anybody who has any questions? Anybody want to talk about something that's going on? Yeah, D says division brings clarity. Yes, it does. People saying division is bad. No, it's not. Division is, I agree with D. Division is good because without division, you don't know the difference between right and wrong. You don't know where you stand if we're all together, on this. And so that's great. Yeah, it's seeing kumbaya. Right. And then tomorrow they vandalize your car or house. It's to disarm you for their attack. That is the narcissistic way. That is the love bombing. That is the gaslighting. That is the Hoover attempt. We need to understand this about narcissistic personalities in general. People who cloak themselves in their narcissism, that is a very real tactic. They use that whole we don't have to be divided anymore. We are all one. We are together. They do that so that they can disarm you. Once again, getting you into that place where you feel like you can relax, and then they attack you. That is narcissistic. So don't fall for the whole we can all be at peace now and this and that, because those people will never be at peace. They are hostile, violent individuals cloaked in their narcissism, and they feel entitled to do and say whatever they want to do. That's just the bottom line. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. D says, Julie Tamalo wants to know how to find herself having lived among narcs since childhood. This is very difficult to do. You have to go a very long way back. It depends on where you're at. If you are in this place where you are very strong and you have strong boundaries and you're no longer associated with your family, in a way, then it comes down to you living your new life, but you want to reconnect with your younger, then you have to be able to go back and mentally, emotionally embrace yourself as a child. And once again, tell yourself that it's not your fault. And here's the thing, narcissistic abuse is not your fault. Abusive parents is not your fault. Not ever. No abuse in this life, no bullying is your fault. It's just not. It is other people. It is them being cloaked in their narcissistic abuse, which again is something we can all be prone to, because we all have narcissistic traits. It's just a matter of who cloaks themselves in it and uses that as their identity, and who's wise enough to know that it exists and we suppress it and we keep it down, right? Narcissism is also known as peer pressure. It can be. Yes. Narcissism is encouraged through peer pressure. High schools are, how many of you remember the high school fights, the brawls in the yard? How many of you realize and can look back and look at the peer pressure that was involved in that, as groups of people would surround two people going, oh, you're going to let him say that? Hit him, get him. And you're almost pushed and forced into this place of allowing the narcissism, not caring about another individual. You're forced to do just that. You become a puppet in that situation, right? Tons of pressure. Yep. But to go back to that question, what if you were a child? First of all, understand that you don't have to be anything like your parents. You don't have to. You have your family you were born into, but you also have your chosen family, and this is important. We need to understand the concept of having a chosen family. Family is not necessarily biological. If this were the case, then there wouldn't be so many foster kids out there. If this were the case, then there wouldn't be adopted children. So family does not necessarily have to be biological. If you were raised by an abusive family, that doesn't mean you have to acknowledge them as being your family. One of the things that I believe in my heart is I walked away from my wife's family, my in-laws, who were very abusive in their treatment towards me. I know they claimed that I was the abusive one, but the name calling and the criticizing, right? It's just that mentality of narcissism. And a couple of the things they would say is that I married into that family and yada yada. Again, the control method. It took me a while to discover I don't owe them anything. They're not my family. I don't have to call them family. I don't have to call them aunts and uncles to my kids. I owe them absolutely squat. If they want that, then they can respect me as an individual and earn it. And that's part of the hardened boundaries that I put up. And understanding that, no, we don't go along with anything that a little group says. You just don't do that. If it crosses your boundaries, you have every right not to. And so, yeah. Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, so to wrap that up, again, if you were raised with that in a family, then you don't have to acknowledge them as your family. You don't have to spend Christmas Eve with them. It doesn't matter what they say. Disappoint them. Disappoint them. I became okay with disappointing family. Just do it. Don't show up on Thanksgiving. If they're not trying at all throughout the year, but once a year expect you to show up, disappoint them. Disappoint them. Colleen, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Colleen says, I have to detach from a neighbor who is abusing me, which leaves her at the mercy of a real narcissist. Toxicity. Hard to walk away. Knowing what? Detachment neighbor who is abusing me, which leaves her at the mercy of a real narcissist. Toxicity. Hard to walk away knowing. I'm not sure if maybe you weren't able to finish that question or not. I'd be curious to know what you were going to add to that. Yeah. V. Fox is right. The narcissist Marxist playbook 101, peer pressure is powerful. So use it. So use and monopolize it. Create chaos and blame it on you. And that's what they do. That's what they do. Absolutely. That's what they do. And I've experienced that. With the siblings I dealt with, they created, my wife's siblings, they created chaos on social media and in their home, and then they blamed it on me, and it's very disheartening when you experience it. It is like something out of another world. You have no idea what's going on, not at all. And so very, very crazy. Very crazy. Very crazy. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. But what if they are fam? Carson Donnelly says. Well, again, fam, what does this mean? Family, what does family mean? We're going back to the same question. What if it's fam? Family, after a certain age, listen, you cannot choose who you're born into and who raises you. But once you're at a certain age, you can choose your family. Okay? You no longer have to associate with mom and dad just because the culture tells you that biologically they're your mom and dad. Again, this is why we have foster parents and stuff, because there's no, you don't have to acknowledge them as parents if they're abusive. You don't have to show up, disappoint them. If they're not making effort to be in your life on the regular, if they're not honoring your boundaries as an individual, then disappoint them. Disappoint them, right? That's the only way it stops. That's the only way the abuse will ever stop, is by disappointing them, and be okay with it. And that's right. And as Craig said, the narcissist has accused me of everything they do behind my back. That's what they do. It's exactly what they do. That's what they do. Somebody made a comment about narcissists humiliating them. How do I handle the humiliation of my 33-year marriage and him discarding me 19 months ago? He's on his second girlfriend. So humiliating. How do you handle the humiliation? I would suggest that you put the humiliation on him. him out running around with these different girlfriends, that to me would be humiliating, but it's not yours to wear. You're not the one running around trying to stuff your ego with all these sensual pleasures. He is. So I would throw that humiliation, cast it onto him to wear as a burden. Let him be known as the male whore that he is, running around out there trying to satisfy his loneliness and his lack of self-validation. All right? I think that's very important to understand. It's not your humiliation to wear. Does that make sense? So if you don't wear the humiliation, you'll be okay. Don't wear the humiliation. I'm going to read a text message that we're getting in. It says, "Hi, Kevin. After years of going no contact, I'm finding me again, being authentic. So looking forward to a terrific Christmas full of peace, joy, and love." See if I can read the rest of that. Oh, it's a long one. Wow. Looking forward to Christmas full of peace, joy, and love with my husband and children. Awesome. No crazy people games. Love it. Just want to say this time of year brings the smokescreen bulldung of happy large Christmas gatherings, and can make some narc survivors very empty. I will be making videos of this, by the way, so don't you worry. We've got you covered. The Royal We is going to have you covered here. Survivors feel empty. We're not going to feel empty this year, all right? It's a lie. Believe the truth. You dodged a bullet. Yay. Now let's move forward. Enjoy this Christmas. Christmas for Survivor is amazing. Thank you so very much. From Orphan No Longer Aussie, someone from Australia. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, listen, I'm excited about the holidays coming up, not because I'm going to be spending it with a giant gathering of family as they depict on the cartoons. No, because I'm going to be expressing and sharing a lot of truth and inner validation about how you don't need it. You don't need to be validated by them. You don't need to be validated by Christmas or any of these holidays at all. All right? So we've got a lot to talk about. Very, very excited. Very excited. And before I forget, for all of you who are here, if you like this shirt, right? Guess what? The Royal We shop is open. Royal We Apparel. RoyalWeApparel.com. RoyalWeApparel.com. So we do have shirts. Now, I'm telling this to just you. So you all know each shirt that you order is handmade by yours truly. So I make the shirts and the sweatshirts, the hoodies that are there. So I'm excited and it's great. I help make them. I don't completely make them. I make them together. And so we make them and I'm excited. They look great. I'm excited for it. But so you can find a fantastic shirt for you and also support the Royal We. There you go. And I want to challenge for those of you who do purchase a Royal We shirt or a hoodie or a sweatshirt, I would love to see an Instagram post. I would love for you to tag, for those of you who are on Instagram or something, for those of you who are on Instagram, take a picture of you and your shirt or your sweatshirt and maybe tag Join the Royal We on Instagram. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I'd love to see those pictures up there and see how people like their shirt, whatever saying that you get, empowering message. I hope that I think that would be a cool thing if you all would take part in that. Yeah, so there's this design of a new logo for the Royal We. There's the old Royal We logo, which still looks cute. I said cute. Still looks good. There's also other types of shirts. So very cool, very cool. And with that, does anybody else, are there any pressing issues with you, the Royal We fam? Is there anything that somebody really would like to know or bring up or address? something about a video, something about what you're going through this week, we're here for you. Now is the time for you to be able to speak up, talk about what's going on, what's on your heart, what's on your mind. I'm scrolling through. If not, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the other channel in this here and make sure that the video, the organic video, is public, so people can get started watching that. But you are the priority tonight. You are the live. You are Royal We Live chat, and right now is your time. I'm here for you. So I just want to make sure that that you're all here. I said cute. Cute. I said cute. I know. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from. I said cute. I don't say cute. Guys don't say that. Guys don't say, uh-oh. Gotta be careful. I don't want to offend anybody with any gender prejudices. How dare me say guys don't say cute. Right on. Well, listen, take care of yourselves, and we will be back here next Monday for sure, Royal We Live Chat. Saturday morning is Royal We Fellowship. And I know I say this every time, but doggone it, I really have got to get this squared away so the notifications are sent out, reminders are sent out, and there's a countdown for the live Saturday morning Royal We Fellowship and also Royal We Live Chat, okay? It's only fair for all of you. It's fair for the newcomers who would like to be part of this as well. Got to get on board with that, all right? Listen, my prayers are with all of you, and so grateful for you, and I can't wait to be with you next Monday night and hopefully hear from some of you. My telephone has been getting lonely. Where's what's his name? Not what's his name, forgive me. Not Jose. Doggone it. You know who I'm talking about, who would call me every week. I miss his voice too. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm tired. Anyhow, we will be back next Monday night, Royal We Live Chat. Saturday morning, Royal We Fellowship. And all week this week, every night, I will be posting a video on the organic channel. So, Antonio, thank you, Tanya. Tanya's got it. Antonio, where are you, man? Pick up your phone and call. I'm getting worried about you. It's been a couple of weeks. If you catch this, pick up the phone and say hi. All right, everybody. Much appreciation to all of you. Thank you for being a part of my healing journey as well. And we'll be back next Monday night. And check out the video tonight on the Royal We. And we'll be back. All right, have a great night, everybody.